Welcome to Long Lost Brothers, the podcast devoted to fitness, friendship, and the overall acquisition of betterment. My name is Brett Scott.
And I'm Jesse Cole.
And we are the Long Lost Brothers. Jesse, what's going on, man?
How you doing? What's going on with you, man? I have had a pretty eventful week. I ran that marathon.
Yes, sir. Congratulations.
A little bit. Yeah, that was rough. But it's knocked out. I got my goal of a sub 5 hour.
What'd you end up finishing?
4 hours and 48 minutes.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's not killing it, but it's pretty good.
Well, don't take anything away from that. That's huge fucking accomplishment just to do it. I did mine in almost 5.5 hours. So you beat me by like 40 minutes. So that's something.
Yeah. I trained pretty hard for it. But if I'm going from a chubby power lifter to running a marathon in about 4 months. So I'm not really mad at it.
No, man, that's huge. That's a cool thing too, to be able to like relate to people. So like if someone is like, man, I just, I don't think I can do this, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Something even smaller than that. You can be like, look, dude, there was a time when I didn't run at all. And all I did was eat a bunch of food and lift heavy things. And then I decided all on my own, I'm going to run a fucking marathon. And so I put in the work, and in 4 months, only 4 months, I ran a fucking marathon.
Yeah.
Like it's almost unbelievable to someone who hasn't done it, you know what I mean?
Well, that's a big thing, man.
Yeah.
I mean, a marathon ain't no punk. Like,
no, it's forever been called like the race of races, like the ultimate test of endurance before all these ultra marathons started up. But like, it was always the gold standard of like, do you have endurance? I
had to say that's one of the physically hardest things I've done.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I agree.
I'll say I prepared better for that than I did the 20-mile run that I did in preparation of the marathon. I slept better. I planned it out a little better. I rested, but I did make a bad mistake. I was on vacation this week. That's why I was able to run the marathon during the week, and so I was hitting like 2 days at the gym, but just training up her body and not doing really much. Like I ran a couple of little short runs. Like I think I ran 5 and 3, and then but I did bench press like 2 days in a row, and then dude, my shoulders were just on fire from like mile 6 on, and I was having to do this thing where I was like raising my arms, and, like stretching my arms while I'm running, and it was like, oh my God.
What? I actually forgot about that. I remember having to do that during mine too. Like I would put my hands on my head and be running like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I was about to be arrested. You know what I mean? I was running like
that. Yep. I got to where I was doing like some kind of like sweating the oldies moves where I was just like lifting my arms, like pumping them because it was like just to get that lactic acid out of there. And that was So I'm 4 days removed from that. So that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
How you feeling?
I'm like 80%. I feel I'm still a little tight. I'm a little beat up still, but not as bad as I had anticipated. I think I'm gonna actually go train legs tomorrow.
Right on.
At the gym in the morning, I think.
So you're right back. You're right back into lifting and like getting back into that sort of fitness.
Well, my diet has gone to shit because I'm just not a very good macro counter. I'm not good at counting macros. I just don't eat carbs and I lean out. That's kind of just my go-to because I'm just not very dialed in with skillful nutrition. I mean, I can lose weight if I do like the like MyFitnessPal, I use the app, and I know what food is gonna make me a fat ass and what's not. Like I'm not like a moron, but for me, it's like I'll just eat steak and eggs and I'll just lean up, you know. So
are you back on the keto then? Like,
yeah, I'm on day 2 right now.
Okay.
So and I've been taking it very seriously and, you know, really adhering to it. So yeah. So, you know, my abs are kind of gone right now, but they'll be back in a couple of days, I think.
Yeah.
You know,
they won't stay gone. It's a good thing that you started up, like, getting back on the diet, like, right away after, because
well, you know,
it's about to get real. Like, you're about to be doing a lot less calorie burning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the thing that I realized is at the start of the training cycle, I was able to do, you know, more resistance training and with these shorter runs throughout the week. So as to where, you know, later in the training block is like these, like, you know, half marathon, 16 miles, 18 miles, you know, these big runs that,
Right.
you know, just debilitates you after, you know, for a day or two after. And so now I have, I've written up a little training plan where it's like legs. It'll be like a lower body workout, upper body workout, and then a run, and then a rest and mobility day, and then repeat as such. And I'm thinking that's gonna. I think that'll allow me to get strong, healthy, and maintain speed. Because I'm not really sure when, but I'm gonna run this for a while and see if it's effective, and then I'm gonna try and get faster. And I'm going to try to squat 405 and run a sub 2 hour half marathon in the same week. I think I could do that.
So that's like your next goal.
That's the next lion I want to wear on my head, if you will.
Cool. So it's good that you chose something like pretty much right away. Like, I always make the mistake of not having another goal lined up. And, you know, and then I end up falling off or getting real inconsistent, and it's good to always have something else in mind, like, right away. Even it doesn't have to be huge, it doesn't have to be big. Like, you don't have to go from a marathon to, like, okay, well now I'm going to run a ultra marathon. Like, but it's got to be something that you're, like, working towards. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that for me the marathon was cool, and you know, and I did get that little nibble in my head, like, what about an ultra? What about, like, you know, what about a 40 mile? I think you did that. Like, I don't think I could. I could definitely. I think next Saturday, I bet you I could run 30 miles. Oh yeah. I bet you, but I don't want to. Yeah. I really don't.
I feel you.
It's so rough. Like that. Like that was a really rough. And I you know, I know that initially, you know, I've changed my approach a lot throughout this whole training block. Like, initially, I was like, I'm going to do this all keto. And then I was like, you know, getting some longer runs, like, yeah, keto ain't really a thing. I mean, it might be for some people, but I can crack that nut myself. So during my marathon, what I got was some little peach ring candies.
Yeah, little gummies.
Yeah, those kept me through. I ate and I had like a real with sugar energy drink before, and then I pounded like 2 donuts. I know this is all garbage, but I was like, I just need a bunch of sugar in my muscles. And then I had my son, when at mile 20, bring me like a 12-ounce full sugar Red Bull, and I just pounded that in like a drink. And that got me through. So
that was the most delicious Red Bull you ever drank, wasn't it?
Oh, dude, and my son's a boss because it was like ice cold, like perfect timing. Like I've seen my car coming. I was like, thank you, Jesus. Dude, that thing was like hyper delicious. Oh, and also like, okay, so like maybe a quarter mile up the road before that, there's like these blackberries that I've been like, it's on my route that I would just snatch a couple while I'm running. Yeah. And like, dude, those punks tasted so good, dude. I was like, oh man. And it's like late in the season right now, so they're like really sweet. Mm-hmm. So I was like grabbing them, and you know, at this point, it's like, I'm not really killing it with the speed, but it's at that point where you're getting up to like 20 miles, where it's like you're gonna hit that wall. Yeah. And it's like, this is where it's like you're just gonna do it, right? Like you're just gonna keep putting your feet in front of the other one. Yeah, that's when it's like actually hard. That's where it becomes a test. Like, do you have the fortitude Yeah, and I did, and I actually recovered faster from this than I did the 20 mile because the preparation and and then even though I ate like just straight garbage, like all the food that I ate during that was like 100% just straight fast acting like sugar, you know.
Right, but that's pretty normal for marathon runners and shit and endurance athletes. But also I think it's important to mention though that you were like extremely hydrated. You were properly hydrated.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And also it was like 20 degrees cooler. It was like 60 degrees with a mist instead of it being 9 or 80. It was like 83 when I ran that 20. It was like the perfect day for it. It was like it just rained. All the smoke was gone. And it was like threatening to rain again. So like, and then and instead of going out all the way where I usually go, where it gets further down to the highway, there's in the opposite direction. I ran out 4 miles and then came back, so past my house. So there's 8 miles knocked off, so I didn't have to go so far out into the country.
Yeah,
so it was you have to be a little safer. And it was cool because this road is called Blue Slough. It's shut down because they're digging the slough out. For people who don't know what a slough is, it's where there's a river that runs over and would flood the city. So they dig like a big ditch out, like a football field out that's like lower. Mm-hmm. Well, there's a road that goes over that slough, which is common and has like a train underneath it so it can go. So anyway, that's a slough for people who don't know what a slough is. But I didn't know what that was until I moved out here to the west side of the state where there's a lot more water. But
there's a slew of sloughs.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a fucking nerd, man. All right. Well, dude, hey, you fucking did it, man. I'm proud of you, man. I'm really proud of you.
List.
For sure. You set a goal, and you even said it was like long term. I mean, it was short term, but it was long term in the sense of like it wasn't next week. It wasn't like one of our challenges. You know what I mean? It was like, I'm going to do this thing, and it's going to require a lot of training and a lot of time getting ready for it. And you did the thing, and you didn't finish the whole 16 weeks, but you know what? I get why you didn't, and you still pushed it all the way to the hardest part of it. I mean, it's not like you quit halfway through and went, all right, fuck it, I'll run this marathon now. Like, you made it all the way to the longest set of miles you had to run.
Yeah. So I think I cut out one 17-miler, and then I missed like 4 short runs, 4 to 5 short runs. But you know, it is what it is. I got the thing done, and I'm proud of myself.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm done running, but I don't know about these super long runs. They really turn my body up. But I think for me, for keeping a nice physique, the like 5 to 8 mile range is good. Like on a consistent basis, like a 3, 5, and 8 in a week would be like doable.
Yeah, you'll still build some pretty decent endurance doing that, and keep your cardiovascular health up. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
And I think the way that I'm gonna start training is gonna be like powerlifting, but also with hypertrophy days in it.
Yeah.
But like a lot of West Side stuff with like bands and chains where I'll be more explosive, and you know, I might trade some of those runs for some like pushing a prowler or pulling a sled or something like that. You know, just to get that general physical preparedness, the GPP. I don't know if you like to ever watch like West Side versus the World. You should watch that. That'll give you kind of an idea of the kind of training that I'm gonna. But I'm gonna do that.
It's a little hardcore though. I get the conjugate method and everything, but I don't know about pushing it like fucking.
But I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna do it more with more of the speed days. I'm not gonna do as many maximal efforts. So it's not really gonna. I'm not gonna utilize the conjugate method. I'm just gonna use some of their explosive techniques. Some of the you know, the bands, the chains where you know, the load increases as the bar rises.
Right. And you're switching up like modalities of doing this. You're not doing the same movement over and over. You're doing like different versions of that movement.
Yeah, but my gym, there's a lot of people that train conjugate there. This gym that I joined, so they have all the setups for it, which is pretty badass. And they have a reverse hyperextension. And don't you live in Columbus, Ohio? Isn't Westside there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I've never seen it. I've never been there.
Yeah, dude. That's where there's some world record holding people in there.
Oh yeah, it's a famous fucking gym for sure.
Yeah,
but,
and it was,
yeah,
and I have like a Westside T-shirt, and I went in this gym or this timber gym where they hold powerlifting meets here, and this dude has like the Dog Nitro is on my T-shirt, like tattooed on his shoulder. I was like, oh, this guy's a gangster.
I got the shirt. He's got the fucking ink, bro.
But it was cool because he walked up and was like Westside, and like gave me the knuckles. I was like, all right. And this guy's like this big monster. I was like, oh yeah, dude, this guy for sure benches like 405 for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like like there's some like serious powerlifters up in this gym, so it's cool. So I'm excited to be back in like a gym again. That's new.
Yeah, regular ass fitness, not this crazy endurance trek.
Yeah, but I've taken away the my body does respond well to cardio, and it feels good to not be fat, and I'm gonna maintain my not fatness for sure. Like, yeah. Like right now, like I gained back 10 pounds going off keto and just eating everything in sight, but the thing with the ketosis is like once I get back, like I'm on day 2 right now, I'm down like 5 pounds, so it'll like the water weight will come off really fast.
Yeah, it'll come off quick.
Yeah, I'm not tripping. But yeah, so I'm gonna get back into what I was doing early on in the training block, but with more strength training.
Gotcha. Well, so you've had a really like.
Oh, and I got a new tattoo. But yeah, so that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you've done a lot of cool shit this week. I really haven't done anything. Like.
Really?
Oh yeah, I've been like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm stressed the fuck out. Like, I'm gonna be real here. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, fucking, I did this and that. No, this week was like really. It was, man. It's stressful. It's like we're getting used to this like homeschooling thing, and it's like trying to figure out how to manage my sleep schedule with getting up with the kids, because I work at night, and then I also get up early to help my daughter with her school when my wife goes to work. So it's like, yeah, I had a couple of like 4 hour a night, sleeps and shit.
I get that.
Yeah, and it just. A couple of those mounted up, like I got a 4 hour a night, and then a 5 hour one night, and then like another 5, and then a 6. And it's like, I've realized just through experimentation over the past year or so that like, if I get I'd say about 7 hours is like the perfect amount of sleep for me. Like,
yeah.
I used to always be that guy who was like, oh, I don't need that much sleep. I can get by on 3 to 4 hours, and maybe I could when I was 25, but like now, it's like, dude, I need that sleep, not just for my, like, to feel good physically, but like to feel mentally stable. Like, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
If I don't get enough sleep, I'm an asshole, dude. Like,
there's a direct correlation between mental health and circadian rhythm. Like, that's paramount.
For sure. If you ever heard that sleep doctor dude that was on Rogan,
I haven't.
Dude, there's a book. I'll find it and I'll suggest it to you and the listeners later. But it's all about like how detrimentally fucking important sleep is, like to every aspect of life. Like it's crazy. After reading it, it's kind of like if you read a book about Wim Hof for breathing, you know what I mean? And you're like, oh my God, like all my problems would be solved if I could just breathe. Like, it's like that with sleeping. But a lot of it I've noticed in real life, like, fuck man, like my mental capacity is different when I don't sleep. My physical capacity is different. I get like sluggish during the day, and same things too. Is like, if I don't work out, it sounds counterintuitive. Like it sounds like, well, if you worked out, you'd be more tired like later in the day. But it was the opposite. It's the opposite.
Yeah, Paul Chek, he says you have to expend energy to create energy, and he's like this holistic health guy. He's kind of Elliot Hulse's kind of mentor, but previous to him, like grabbing a MAGA hat and getting all weird.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul Chek. I've heard of him for sure.
Yeah, he has this a really good book called How to Eat, Sleep, and Be Healthy by Paul Chek. That was the first book I read. Like, so he's I enjoy him. He's like 70 years old and still looks like 500 pounds. So
that's awesome.
I don't know
I say all that to say this. Like I haven't been sleeping good this week. I've missed several workouts. And we'll talk about this in a second, but I fucking did not do very good at our challenge. Just been like in a kind of negative mindset, and I think it all goes back to like not just I think it all starts with sleep. I really do. And then after that, workouts, and then like that can mess with your whole day, man, if you get out of that.
Yeah, and you added another another drop in the bucket of putting on another hat of being a teacher now.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing I'm like trying to figure out right now. And it obviously it creates little tiffs with the wife too. Like you got disagreements about how to do this with the kids, and each one of our kids is in a different grade, and they're in different. My son is actually doing a different form of online schooling than the other two kids are doing. So it's like, it's crazy. It's madness, dude. So I'm like, I'm a little anxious, a little edgy. I'm a little like worried about how things are going to work out, but I know they'll all work out. But
right.
It's just been one of those weeks. Man. It's stressful. It's just tough. So I didn't accomplish much. This is actually crazy. I had this goal at the beginning of the year. There's a couple of goals I set for myself for running specifically, and one was I wanted to run 500 miles in 1 year. And I busted my ass early on, and I knocked that out. Like, I thought it was gonna be a much harder goal to reach, and I hit that in June. So I was like, oh shit, maybe I got to shoot for 1,000, because I'm halfway through the year and I met 500. So to make it tough, I'll try to repeat this for the second half of the year. And I'm on track to do that. I'm at 700 and some miles.
You got 3 months left. So if you're hitting, okay, I see where you're going. So if you hit these 10 miles a week.
Yeah. So that was my other goal I set for myself is I wanted to, at the very least, run 10 miles in any given 7 days, like every week for the entire year. And every single week I've hit it, no problem. But this week has just been a shit fucking week, dude. And I looked at it was like 6 o'clock last night, and I had to go to work like in an hour I had to be at work. And
man,
I had 9 miles. I looked at my little counter thing just to check, because I'm like, can I skip running today? You know what I mean? Because I got to get to work. I can't. I was 0.7 miles short of my 10 miles for the week. Yeah. So I'm like, fuck. So I'm like, all right, I'm taking the dog for a walk. So I took the dog for a 1 mile run, and that dog was pissed. She's this little fluffy dog, She's like, she ain't trying to run for a mile straight. She's like,
I would see your dog saved in my gallery.
Yeah, dude.
It's so funny that I had to keep it.
She's so ridiculous. But you try to I was like, nope, no fucking, we're not stopping. We're not taking a shit. We're not sniffing trees. We're running, bitch. And we did. We ran 1 mile. I got my mile in. So, I mean, that was my first win of the week. I was like, all right.
That's something I enjoy about you is you're much more calculated than I am. You said, you have your everyday podcast that you set out to do, and you've been doing that, I think, with the exception of your getaway with your wife, right? And that was at the plea of me not be to just take some time off from being so accountable.
For the most part, honestly, lately I've been trying to figure ways to not have to do it every day. Like I might put together some best of type episodes where I don't actually record every day. But yeah, I've been backing off of the must do it every single day thing, but I am the point of that whole thing was to create consistency, and I feel like I'm pretty consistent with it. Like it's 5 to 6 days a week for sure right now. So
Nice.
The goal was to not get in a pattern of going a month without uploading. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just consistently knock them out. That's that war of art type shit where it's just like, just do it every day. Like Jerry Seinfeld says, write one bad joke a day. Like for a comedian, it's like, you know, they're not all going to be winners. In fact, most of them will probably suck, but it's just the act of doing it every day and putting it into practice. And then eventually you're going to come out with some bangers.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it. Now, I have never been that type of organized person. This is something I'm forcing on myself. One of the reasons I wanted to start this podcast was like to talk about shit like that. Like, I'm not fucking perfect. In fact, I struggle a lot. And the things that I'm talking about now that I do, like these betterment things, they're new to me too. Like I'm putting these things into practice. I'm experimenting, and that's what the setting the goals at the beginning of the year. I had never done that before. It was a brand new thing. So while it's cool, I'm glad. Like, thank you for admiring that about me. It is a brand new thing for me. Like, I've never been like that before. In fact, I've always struggled with not planning things out and not structuring things. Like, my life's always been super chaotic. So, it's something. Yeah. It's something that serves me well, though. I think like if I have these certain little goals to meet all the time, I stay on a better path. So.
Yeah, and you know that's an admirable goal, is to, you know, want to be more organized. Mm-hmm. That's something that I struggle with professionally. You know, personally, it's like, you know, like I want to get up early and work out, but I don't always do that. But
it's tough, Jesse. I hate it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Something that I'm gonna try to do with this is get up at 5 and be at the gym at 5:30, and you know, it's gonna be a work at 8, and you know, so that's gonna take me not staying up and watching Punisher and with the boys, and you know, that's gonna take me being more calculated in my sleep, and you know, 'cause last night, you know, you're just saying that you're sleeping shit. I could not sleep last night, and then me and Joey said, yeah, we're gonna go train back at 7 tomorrow, and man, I got to the gym at 7:30. Joey was already there. He figured I wasn't gonna show up, and man, I felt like somebody beat me over the head with a stick, dude. I lifted weights for about 12 minutes, and I was like, man, you know, like, there's not really a point in me being here because this is not going my way. Right. And you know, and I think, and you know, I went and I did like concrete, like construction work yesterday, and I was like, for somebody who just ran a marathon, I'm really diving into a lot of physical activity really fast.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I kind of like, you know, I need to, you know, I said like, okay, I'm gonna run this marathon, then I'm gonna take a week off and just do this, and then, you know, so it's like, I need to just dial in and do what I need to do. So I wrote that workout program that I want to do, and I think that I need to, you know, so I want to wake up at 5:30 and go work out, and that just be the thing that I do, right? And so, you know, I asked my wife, I said, well, what would be better for you if I worked out before work or later in the evening?
Right.
And for her, she, you know, she was like, I was sort of like, of course, before work, because I want to be with you afterward. Right. It's like, well, there's my answer. So 5:30 it is, you know. You know, I'm not Jocko Willink, you know, so it's like my watch at 4:30 is gonna be not lit up. Being taken,
dude.
like,
it's gonna be tough. It's going to be a tough thing.
But there was a time where I was up every day at 4, working out before work. So, you know.
Let me tell you something though. Look, there was also a time in your life when you hadn't run a marathon.
Yeah.
There was also a time in your life where you didn't do a podcast every week consistently.
There was a time in my life where I didn't even have a house. You know, there's you know, and it's like the small disciplines are the things, and it's like I got very enthralled in discipline, and I was owning that and making sure that was a thing that that was on the forefront of my thoughts and in my actions, you know. And I was mindful of wanting to be disciplined. And this was at the start of this marathon, and you know, through this time, you know, the wheels are starting to come off a little bit. So now is a good time I've reached that goal, you know. But now's the time where I need to, you know, reassess things. You know, maybe listen to a couple little, you know, motivational videos in the mornings. You know,
sure.
Restart that fire as we transition into winter or fall. You know, I'm not gonna. All my runs are probably gonna be on a treadmill for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, so. It's probably good, you know, a new training block. It's a new chapter. It's a new time to, you know, let's start that fire again. Let's, you know, because I realize it's like I've done a lot of body recompositions, and I have a lot of transformation pics of different transformations. And it's like that's cool, but it also shows me a pattern of inconsistency, right?
Oh yeah.
Like I get to the top of the hill and I push the rock back down, so it's like. I'm trying to not do that again. So
yeah.
So that's where I'm at with that. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited about this move forward.
So since we're talking about consistency and discipline and
how inconsistent we've been the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Our daily challenges.
Yeah. So how did you do with the what do I call it? The Wake Up 100 challenge?
I did it for 2 days, and then I slept in a lot and took my wife to work and went back to sleep, and I was on vacation, so I slept a lot, dude.
I feel you.
And I was kind of, you know, and then I was going to the gym, and then I was like, it's not that I didn't do workouts, it's that I didn't set a reminder. I didn't like, you know, like for my runs, I had it in my Outlook, and it goes off on I wake up and an alarm goes off, and you know, my watch says what I got to do today for my workout. I should have done that because
you didn't take my challenge seriously. Is that what you're telling me? You didn't make it a priority?
I'm lacking. I'm sorry.
Dude, I'm exactly the same. It was my challenge, and I did it for 2 days, and then I missed 2 days, and then I did it for 1 day, and then I missed 2 days. Like, it was terrible.
I'm a very good excuse maker, but I did run a fucking marathon in this week. So that's my only out that I have is for the last 2 days. Is the only out that I have.
I think it's crazy, though, that you can run a full marathon, but you can't do a punk-ass, like, 25 sit-ups, 25 push-ups.
That's both of us, though, is really
I know.
Both, that's why I like the conjugate method for powerlifting, you know, because it's like, oh, you get to max out twice a week, you know, and it's like, yeah, but it's like instead of a progressive overload where it's like, yeah, you're going to build up to this thing, and then you're going to do the thing, you know.
Right.
So I'm trying to. So anyway,
you're trying to wiggle your way out of this. Listen, we both suck really bad at new daily habits.
Yeah.
It sucks, man. It's hard. Just like we're talking about, like, you're trying to start working out every morning. Like, it's going to be the same type of challenge. You're probably going to fail a couple dozen times. Like, you're going to be like, fuck, man. It's you know, I did it for 6 days straight, but then I fucking fell off for 2 days. Like, but eventually, if you keep making shit a habit, you'll get there to where it's like, it's part of your day. It's just part of it. It's just like, oh, this is, you know, it's not 5:30 anymore. It's the time I work out. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I got faith in you, even though we are terrible at this. I hope that the challenge you come up with this week is, as much as we need to work on the daily consistency, things.
It's a one-off.
Okay. All right.
It's a one-off burner.
That's cool.
I'm going to issue it right now. But
I guarantee we will both complete this one. No problem.
Yeah. No, this one, it's going to suck, but it's just you just go do it.
All right. What is it?
Okay. All right, but this is not the end of the episode. I still want to talk about the boys.
Yeah.
Okay. So here, this one is It's called Vlad the Inhaler instead of Vlad the Impaler. Okay.
Okay.
So you own a barbell and you own a couple 45 plates.
Yes.
Okay, or you have access to a 135-pound barbell.
Yep. Got it.
Okay, so what we're gonna do it was gonna be Romanian deadlifts, but with it being an AMRAP workout, I don't want it to be something where you could potentially do damage to your lower back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be Romanian deadlifts, Vlad the Impaler, Romanian, Vlad the Impaler. Okay, so here's the workout. It is 3 minutes, and you're going to get on this bar and do as many deadlifts as you can in 3 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, and it's going to be who can do more deadlifts, Jesse or Brett, or
in 3 minutes with 135.
Yeah.
Okay.
And any lady listeners, I want you to do 95 pounds.
There you go.
And that's that. You know, I mean, okay. So I had this one in my back pocket for a little bit, but I watched last night. I was watching the Fittest in the World, whatever, the CrossFit documentary.
Yeah.
I watched it a bunch of times. But I was like, if I watch this, I'll fall asleep because I've seen it already.
Dude, I've watched all of those so many times, dude. They got like 4 of them.
Yeah, I was watching the one where Katrina David's daughter, where she won, and it was like Matt Fraser's second time winning, I think.
Yeah.
Dude, I make fun of CrossFit sometimes, and it's not a training modality that I want to participate in regularly. But
that's just motivating as fuck, dude.
But dude, some of those motherfuckers are bad.
Oh yeah.
Matt Fraser is a beast, dude. Like, it's just like
he's unhuman. He's not a human being, dude. Like he's fucking alien, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy. I love though watching that him come in second so many times before he finally won, and now he just dominates.
Yeah.
He fixed the holes in his game, and now he's fucking unstoppable, dude. It's
like
crazy.
He's not a good runner. Then he went and got a running coach, and then
wasn't a good swimmer. Did the same thing. Like crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And by doing that, like by filling the gaps, by practicing the things he sucked at,
right? He
just became this invincible fuck. It could be a movie, dude. It could be a movie. It's like Rocky. You know what I'm saying? It's like Rocky and Rocky 3, and how he had to kind of retrain himself like in a different way that he wasn't used to, like to be able to fucking build the confidence to come back and win. Like it's crazy, and it's crazy how dominant he went from being second place over and over to dominating.
And now he's trained him in Claire Toomey? Is that her?
Toomey, yeah.
Yeah, okay. She's a beast, right? And both of them are like, super high level. She's like an Olympic weight lifter, like, like an Olympian. Yeah. And so, but now they're training together and they're just, killing it.
That's crazy.
I think they're the games are going right now, but they're doing them like some kind of weird way where it's all virtual, right? So I think they're. That's
disappointing.
I think they're both winning right now. I'm not following closely as I have in years past because I don't really care about CrossFit that much anymore. But it's still badass to watch people.
I'll just wait for the movie to come out next year. Like I'll watch that. So what were you saying about it though? Like you were sitting there watching it?
Oh yeah, and it gave me the idea of doing this CrossFit.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I was just thinking in the past, like I don't want to do Romanian deadlifts because that's just straight leg, just straight hip, and a lot of them might end up that way anyway. But with that being the modality, is just it's too much tension on the lower back. And I haven't done.
It's a 3 minute, as many reps as possible.
Yeah,
135 pounds or 95 pounds if you're female.
Yeah, and sorry, I got off on a tangent, but that's where I got I remember when I used to train with a lot of CrossFit, it was like the girls kind of have a lighter weight, so it's like girls will go 95, guys will go 135. Yeah, because the guys tend to weigh.
Right on. You're gonna kick my ass on this, but I'm glad that you.
I haven't done a deadlift in.
Jesse, it doesn't matter. Like 135 to you is like lifting a piece of paper, and to me, it's like almost my body weight. So it's like, and I've never been that strong. But like, I'm glad you are putting it out there because I haven't done deadlifts in so long, and I'm like, I miss it.
Me neither.
I gotta figure out a way to do it though, to be honest, because my area where I would normally lift is like I I know what I'll do. I got it. I got some extra, like, I was trying to figure out, like, flooring, because I got steel weights. I ain't trying to drop them on the concrete outside.
Yeah.
But, like, I think I got to figure it out. Yeah. I'll be good.
All right.
Fuck my landlord, bro. Fuck his lawn, bro. He's gonna have these deep ass divots, and it's like, what happened to your yard? So anyway, you want to talk about The Boys? So did you catch up? Did you catch up on The Boys?
I'm all caught up.
So what do you think about Stormfront?
Okay, you're right, dude. She's a racist.
Yeah, dude. Isn't that crazy? That's like a crazy turn.
Oh, yeah. I was like, how dare she? I was like, wow. And then freaking, oh, my God. That last episode was crazy, man. Doppelganger. I'm not trying to, like, put all those. Well, I guess it's been out for a minute. We don't have that big of a listenership that it's not really spoiling much.
No, we're telling like 6 people, Jesse. Don't worry about it. Fuck them.
Okay, so you're not watching The Boys. If you're going to watch The Boys right now, don't listen to this next week. Just stop the episode right now. Yeah, okay,
listen, if you made it to the 42-minute mark of this podcast, then you've made it longer than any other listener ever has. So go ahead and shut it off. You're good.
Okay,
go ahead.
Homelander lasering Stormfront's titties. That was badass. I was like, oh,
crazy. Like,
that whole sex scene was like crazy as hell, right?
Little kinky. Little fucking.
Not as kinky as Homelander freaking boning Doppelganger.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. That was kind of nuts. And the fact that he was just so okay with it, like he knows it's him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He knows it, and he's still like, oh, you know what's the most fucking weird is when he turned into Homelander.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
And then he was like trying to fucking go down on him and shit. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I can imagine it though. Like, you would think Homelander probably would want to fuck himself.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah. Fuck, he's like the ultimate fucking sociopath. Of course, ultimate narcissist.
Yeah,
of course he'd want to fuck himself.
Yeah, dude. And the Black Noir. That guy is like, he's just like just super ninja, right?
Yeah, dude. My buddy Justin and I were talking about it. We did a podcast last year where we talked about The Boys when it first came out, and we were talking about like all the characters on there, and we're like, man, the one person we don't know shit about because they didn't delve into his character at all in season 1. Was Black Noir. We're like, dude, I want to find out who this fucking guy is because he's like the quiet dude in the corner. You don't know what the fuck's going on with him. Who is he? What's his story? Who the fuck is he? Like, what does he do? What are his powers? Like, we don't even know. So like,
he's just like a killing machine.
Yeah,
like
this season,
like Jacob Voorhees with like ninja moves.
Yeah, like this season, the very first episode is him going in and fucking assassinating somebody. And like it's showing how impenetrable he is. Like, I'm like, what? Like, I don't see I don't know how they could spin this in any way that the boys could actually win. Like, how the fuck could
Stormfront, Homelander, and the Black Noir are like unfuckwithable?
Yeah, they're literally unfuckwithable. There's nothing that can even fucking hurt them. Like, it's crazy. So, what do you do? Human beings, like, what can a human do to fight these people? There's no logical way they could actually come out on top.
Yeah, I'm just like, what are the boys gonna do? Like, and like Starlight's badass, but she ain't doing nothing to any of those guys.
No,
like,
man.
She's like a B level.
She is. She like Jubilee.
Yeah, exactly.
She's the Jubilee of the boys.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then A-Train off the team. So he's gonna do some backstabbery. And and then Maeve, she's a beast, and she's gonna backstab Homelander too. So there is hope, and the Deep's probably over
but that's
Homelander.
Scary too, because I don't feel like Maeve is a match for Homelander, because she wouldn't be so afraid of him. You know what I mean?
Not even remotely. I think her and like Stormfront might be on a close level, but Stormfront can fly.
And she seems pretty fucking like
impenetrable.
Yeah.
Well, she got penetrated, but she's impenetrable.
Oh, and she got the fucking lightning, bro.
Yeah. She's like Storm, kind of, right? Like,
she's like Storm. If you took Storm, look, if Rogue touched Storm with her bare hands, you'd get Stormfront.
Yeah. So
it's madness. It's intriguing.
It's weird how racist she is, and how like she comes off like super hyper liberal like online, and then is like just like this total like closeted racist. Yeah. I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah. What a clever way to fucking disguise your dark fucking hatred. Yeah,
your previous your previous transgressions.
That's crazy though. So she just doesn't age? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, dude, I want that superpower.
So I'm thinking about it too, is like Homelander's fucking like this old ass lady. I think about this shit sometimes. Like when I see movies like where like there's like a vampire fucking somebody, and I'm like, that's 230 years old. Like what?
Pedo?
Yeah, like that's kind of creepy for him, and it's really kind of creepy for the person fucking him too. Like, and you're fucking an old ass man or an old ass woman.
You know what always fucks me up? Like, looking back on the 80s, how, like, everybody thought Freddy Krueger was super cool. And, like, I thought he was, too, when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. But looking back now, it's like, he's like a pedophile that they burned in the house.
Yeah, he's a total fucking pedo. Like, and the city killed him. they burned him alive in his own factory, like, and then we're on Freddy's side. We're like rooting for the fucking pedo to kill the kids. Like,
but by Nightmare on Elm Street, by Nightmare on Elm Street 3, the origin story is like buried. Like Nightmare on Elm Street 2 like sucked, and then it's just like,
you know, and it's just Freddy. Like, they don't delve into it.
It's just a cult of personality from there.
Yeah, so weird.
Yeah.
So weird that he was a fucking pedo.
All the remakes of Nightmare on Elm Street have totally sucked. But this is the one, I guess, right? The remake of the remake. 13th, Rob Zombie did was badass.
Oh, no, that was Halloween.
No, Halloween, I'm sorry.
I think that was awesome, too. I love Rob Zombie's version. 1 and 2.
Yeah. Sorry.
I like Rob Zombie films, period. Like, I think they're all good.
I went on a whole. That's funny you bring that up. I just kind of went on a little. I watched the Lords of Salem. Is it Lords of Salem? That was pretty good. Have you seen that one?
No.
That's one of his newer ones.
Oh shit! I didn't even know about it. Look, I want to see 3 from Hell because it's the third of the
I haven't watched that. Yes. I would like to watch that. I watched his wife that's in all of his movies is the central character of the Lords of Salem, which is good. It's a movie about witches in Salem.
I'll have to check that out for sure.
And then there's another one called 31 or something like that. Anyway, they're all on Amazon Prime, so for sure
I'll check it out. But 3 from Hell is not on there.
It's not. No. I might pay the $6. I don't know. I got to get up early tomorrow, but But it is spooky season upon us. We're getting into October.
Yeah, I'm excited. Well, I'm excited for. I mean, I guess there's going to be trick or treat. I mean,
we ain't doing that. We're just going to dress up at home. Nah, man. There's the cases in my county are just skyrocketing, and I'm not going to subject my household to COVID.
I feel like, I don't know if we pretty much got it under control or what, but I don't really.
You can dress up to a party at the house.
Look, I'm not saying COVID's a lie, bro. I'm just saying I don't know anyone with COVID. I'm sure you do. But
I do.
But I'm saying in Ohio, okay, it was like really bad supposedly, but I never met anyone with it, and I never heard of anyone with it. And then I
work very closely with the county, and I'm a community health worker, and I work with people that have had COVID. I've gotten them meals so they can quarantine, and it's a thing.
I don't think it's a lie. I just don't think the only thing that I have a problem with it is like that. I think they overhyped it. I think they scared the fuck out of people.
I think we're all eventually going to get it.
Yeah. And I think the healthy people, will probably be just fine. And yeah, you're right. The vulnerable people are the ones that have get it bad.
Well, I think that eventually everybody will get COVID. It's going to be like the flu,
I do too. It's going to be like influenza, or it's going to be like the rhinovirus, a common cold. It's going to be something that everybody gets, and maybe even several times you get it. You just get it. You'll have COVID season. I don't know.
Well, and they thought it was going to 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and that was 6 months ago, and it's it's just gonna be a thing that happens,
For sure.
So,
and I also think that the best thing we can do, and they don't really talk about this. I don't know why. The best thing you can do is do healthy shit. Do stuff for your general health, and you are more apt to, even if it's not contract COVID, but not get really, really sick from it. You might get it, but you're gonna have a better chance fighting it off if you are generally healthier, if you got a manageable weight, if you
don't have if you don't smoke cigarettes, you don't have a respiratory, if you don't have pre-existing conditions,
right? You exercise, you eat healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, The Rock got COVID. His whole family did, and he kind of did the same thing.
You get enough sleep. Yeah, still okay. How sick did The Rock get though?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The Rock didn't get very sick. He's a fucking Rock.
Yeah, exactly. He's a Rock, man. That's our dad, bro.
Yeah.
I think that
the long lost father.
Yeah, I think that's that's a good example, I guess. But I feel like most people who are pretty healthy and lead a pretty healthy lifestyle don't seem to have much problem with it. And I think our best bet as a society is for more of us to become those generally healthy people.
Well, and
our problem is that we have so many obese, so many people with heart problems, and so many people who smoke cigarettes, and so many, that's a large portion of our population that's super vulnerable to this thing.
Yep.
And they can do something about it, at least a little bit about it. You might not be able to prevent it, but I feel like you can better your chances of fighting it off.
Yeah, 100%.
We gotta. I think that they need to emphasize that more. The people who are putting stuff out about it, they need to make that a priority. Look, people, we can fight this a lot better as a healthy community. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not about stay away from everyone and hope you don't get it. It's make yourself fucking your immune system tough enough to fight it. You know what
I mean? There's all those memes about, COVID and then the Flintstone vitamin I ate when I was 8. But, I really do eat them little elderberry gummies. And, I take echinacea, golden seal. I try to that might just be hocus pocus stuff, but I'm trying to maintain health because I directly work with community vulnerable people. I need to make sure that I am healthy and that I, and I need to practice the things that I'm teaching.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I don't want to come off as a denier. I wear my mask my mask everywhere I go. I don't play around like that.
Yeah, mask up, social distance, wash your hands.
I wash my hands every time I go to the bathroom. Every time I walk past one of them hand sanitizer things, I get a little squirt of it. When I get in the car, I squirt my hands. When I get in the truck at work, I wipe the entire thing down with fucking Clorox wipes. So I'm taking it seriously. I'm just saying I think we need to emphasize health, general health to people more.
And it's you should be washing your hands anyway, COVID or not, right?
Right on. Yeah, I think that's good. One thing this has done is going to maybe instill some healthier habits in people, so that's good. I just wish that they would also start taking the other aspect, not just prevention, but making yourself strong enough to fight stuff off. Getting generally healthier, getting the vitamins that your body requires and minerals and the nutrients, and eating less sugar and more whole foods and exercise.
And what is detrimental that people aren't talking about is there's a huge increase in people's deterioration of their mental health because they're not getting the proper treatment. There's a huge increase in substance abuse correlated to COVID because people are not going to their treatment. The NA needs to shut down. The AA needs to shut down. There's been less reports of child abuse and spousal abuse, but that might be because people can't report it because they're directly because they're in the clutches of their abuser.
Yeah, so, for sure. I can't imagine that domestic abuse would go down. There's no fucking way.
I mean, you're literally locked in the house with somebody, like.
Right.
I mean, not literally locked in, but like you're in a close proximity with your. And someone said the key to having marriage is square footage of a house.
Yeah. There you go.
I mean. Yeah.
All right. Well, real quick, I wanted to touch on the book because we've been running a long ass time here, almost an hour. And but I think we should touch on the book for just a couple minutes because we said we would on each episode, and then we can wrap it up. So, have you still been listening to the book at all?
I have not got into it too much this week.
Okay.
I'm kind of just still with the main takeaways of just owning your masculinity, not. Just making yourself a priority. Those are the takeaways that I've gotten from it so far.
For sure. I wanted to ask you something. This is kind of really the only thing I want to talk about it on, like, this week, is that we didn't talk about last time. But what do you think about, and it's, so whatever you think, man, it's personal opinion. Like, he suggests that, obviously, he suggests we seek out more, the nice guys should seek out more male friendships and male mentors, right?
I would agree with that.
Yeah, that's true. But he also, on top of that, now, he suggests that they should seek out male counselors and not have a female counselor. What do you think about that?
Ooh.
Because, like, I don't know if it's putting too much out there about it. Like, but you and I both, we talked like in detail about it. We both have a female counselor.
Yeah. And
so how do you feel about that?
That's fun. That's actually funny because I was discussing this book with my counselor, and I was, and I was addressing to her that I don't think masculinity is toxic, and she was like, "Well, of course it is." And I said, "Well, of course it's not." Like, I vehemently disagree with that and refute that because I said there's a level where you're, overcompensating, and that can be. And that's where people are getting this ideology of toxic masculinity. But,
it's like, is it the masculinity that's toxic, or is it the person that's exuding it?
No, it's a peacocking. It's the the slamming the bar down after a light deadlift. Like, you don't got to do that.
The intimidation. It's the misogyny type shit. That shit is toxic. But but masculinity itself, I don't think so. I don't think so.
No, because it should. I don't know. I have like a feeling where it's like I gave. Hold on, sorry, I'm getting kind of lost in my thought. What I want to say is I think that's a good idea. Maybe I should have a male counselor, but that's not available to me at this time.
Mm-hmm. I do want to say too. He says that that it's good for men to have male counselors because the type of men who are labeled as nice guys, which we've said we fit a lot of the description of.
We check some of the boxes.
Yeah. That they have a tendency to seek female approval from women, and that it may not be conducive to bettering yourself to have a female counselor, because some part of you is going to be trying to win her approval or impress her in some way, or make her think, or make her not think negatively of you, or whatever it might be. You might not be you'd be kind of running her a little bit in a sense of like, you want to think of you as a certain type of person. Yeah.
She become a matriarchal figure instead of something that's going to bring out the masculine side of you.
Right.
And,
or someone, you're not going to be fully yourself because you'll be aware that she'll be judging you, you know what I mean, from a female perspective. Like,
yeah.
So I don't know. I've been thinking about it though. Like I have always felt, he even says in the book, like you may feel more comfortable talking to women because of that aspect. Like, and I know that I do. I know that I've made friends with females throughout my life, much more deeper friendships with females than males, for the most part. Like I've had really good female friends. I've had good male friends, but I find it easier to spark up a conversation with a female than a male, to be honest. Like a stranger, a random male stranger, it's different if it's like a friend or a friend of a friend, but like, or a coworker. But if it was a stranger and there was a female standing there and a male standing there, I'd be much more apt to say something to the female, to be honest. Yeah. Just like friendly, like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Like, you're not like trying to be Mac Daddy, but I guess.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think I'm in that same boat. I think that, well, maybe. I think that for me, I'm pretty good at just getting along with people in general. Just like striking up a conversation with anybody is kind of a something that comes naturally to me. I'm lucky that way.
For sure. I'm not. I wouldn't say that I didn't have male friends too, like almost equally to females. I just always felt a little more comfortable.
Yeah, I feel like I could disclose more to a female friend than I have in the past. But that's something in the past, but now I've kind of grown in my masculinity more in my recovery, whereas I've had more male support where it needed.
Yeah.
But there is some relevance to that critique that men need to learn how to be men from men.
Right.
And I think that, and I think that goes the same for women, but
for sure.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with having a female counselor, but you might. But there is some things that I would not disclose to my current counselor that I would to a man.
Right.
And vice versa.
Even like you just said, like, do you think you maybe felt a little judged when you set out your opinion that toxic masculinity, and she was like, well, of course it is,
Well, yeah, and I don't, and she doesn't have to agree with me, and I don't have to agree with her, like. Right. Like, there's been times where she's like, I don't know what to do with you or for you. Like, it seems like you're very self-aware and you know what you need to work on. And I'm like, well, yeah, so, so I think that there's some validity to that. Mm-hmm. I think that men need to have men that they look up to in their life. And, I do have a very strong male counterparts that I'm in regular contact with about personal issues. Mm-hmm. So I think that if that's your only outlet, then I think he might have some validity in his thought. Right there. But if you have strong male supports in your life, then I think that's just one of your outlets. Yeah. Because they're basically just going to be giving you like tools for your toolbox. So where you would receive that from isn't really matter. It's like a checker at a store, right? Or like a teacher of a class almost. Yeah, and not even that. Like, to be honest, like a lot of what counseling is like having someone that will listen without judgment of, without judging you personally. It's like you can't really have that relationship with like your wife because, or your friend, because they're going to have some sort of feeling about it. Yeah, like they might not judge you outwardly or whatever, but they're going to go home and be like, oh man, I didn't know he was like that. Like with a counselor, with a professional relationship like that, you don't have to worry about that. Like, they're not going to go home. Like, who cares if they went home and they thought like, man, that dude's fucking nuts. Like, that doesn't really affect you. You know what I mean? Yeah, but you're not their personal friend. You're the patient. Right. Yeah. So, I don't know. All right. But I think there's some validity to it as well. But I don't know if I'm
quite ready yet to ditch my female counselor that I enjoy very much. So
yeah, I'm just getting tools for my toolbox from my counselor. Is the way that I look at it, and bouncing things off her, and it's just somebody that you can check in with and make sure that I'm not. Like, I just want somebody to help me reframe some of my thoughts that might not be accurate on occasion.
Right.
So that's what I get out of my counseling. But
cool.
But yeah. All right.
You ready to wrap this thing up, dude?
Yeah, I know we'll touch base next week, and I should have that book read by next week. So maybe next week will be the full month of this book, won't it?
I think so. Yeah, it'll be.
Maybe we'll delve in deep and.
Okay, it'll be the main part of the episode, man, or maybe we even do another little short episode, 20-30 minute episode where we just talk about
a little book review.
Yeah, maybe. It's our podcast. We can do whatever the fuck we want, man.
Right.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. If you want to check in with us online, you can look us up on Facebook. Just look up Long Lost Brothers Podcast, or you can check us out on Instagram at Long Lost Brothers _podcast. You can check out Jesse at Cole with a K and me at Real Brett Scott. Thank you for listening, and we will check in with you guys again next week.
All right.